Hi, this is Tech Greens Beyonder, where I do predictions of the future. If you'd like me to do a prediction for you, let me know in the comments below. Just a reminder, we do lives here on Saturdays and Sundays at 10 a.m. Central and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central. So make sure you mark it down on your calendar so you do not miss out. Also, we have horoscopes at 11:15 on Saturdays and 11:15 on Sundays for the remote viewing show. So make sure you tune into that a little later on. Let's do the card of the day. This is the message from universe to us for today. And the card is vacation this is from the Healing with the Fairies deck. Very nice oracle deck, if you're wondering. So make sure you have a little time out for yourself as we move into these crazy times, lots of crazy times for all, and making sure that we're focusing on the things that we do want instead of the things that we do not want. Okay. And that's going to be making everything much, much better. Okay. So let's get into the next thing. Discord channel. We have our Discord channel up and running. It is nice and free. I'm going to put the link up here for everybody if you haven't gotten it yet. Just got to switch screens here, and I'll put it into the chat. And it's away. So if you haven't gotten into the Discord channel, make sure you grab the link now. Got lots of people on there, and it's free. Awesome stuff. There might be some little parts a little later on that will have to cost you some money, but yeah, for now it's free. Okay, so free for everybody to come talk after the show. I know you guys like talking amongst yourselves, which is awesome. Being social on the social networks is always a wonderful thing. So now you have another place to go to and talk amongst each other. I did a few video posts on there, so you might want to go there and have a good look. Lots of things going on the Discord channel. Dark, who is not sure yet, has done a lot of work with that channel, and I always thank him as much as I can. Okay, so let's get into the next thing. Now, I don't know who this gentleman is. It was a question from the YouTube chat, okay, about Dan Bongino. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his name. And he's left CNN or Fox News, I believe, and he's going to have his own show on Rumble. I'm starting to see a trend here with many of the great announcers from news going on to other shows because they kind of know what the deal is. They see the writing on the wall, okay, that the old news system is not working and it's collapsing. And it's kind of goes hand in hand with the title of today's show, which is Here Comes the Sun, the old Beatles song, if you're wondering. One of my favorites. And we'll get into that momentarily. But let's have a look. How is he going to do on the Rumble channel? Now, if any of you do not know what Rumble is, that it's an alternative media platform for videos. I'm on there, so maybe look that up. And it's a free speech site. So you can say within reason whatever you want on there. Let's see how Bongino, or Dan, we'll just call him Dan, how is he going to be doing on Rumble? It seems that he's going to be finding a whole new audience. He's probably going to be bringing that audience that he's had from I think it's Fox News or CNN. I can't remember which one. And he's going to be bringing that over to Rumble. And me being on Rumble, that's a plus because that means more people are going to be coming to the Rumble channel. And we got Tucker Carlson on Twitter, which I'm also on. And that's going to be bringing a whole lot of new people onto that platform as well. I'm actually getting a little bit more traction on Twitter. So awesome stuff. And it's probably due to big name people going onto these platforms and doing their own shows, bringing them their audiences. So the cards are revealing that it's going to be a much better show for him. I think he's going to do rather well overall. And he's going to have this situation where he can actually be honest with the audience instead of doing the lies of the networks that many newscasters that I've seen interviews with or have met. They're really restrained on the things that they can say. Okay, on the regular news, they can't say certain things. They'll tell the story, but they'll omit things. So there's lie by structure. So if you're reading the newspaper, they'll have the truth in there, but it's at the very end of the article. Okay, so most people only read up to the first paragraph, and they try to blemish it in a way that makes the headline stand out a little bit more. So you don't get the full truth because most people don't read the entire article or watch the entire show. There's lie by omission, where they don't put that particular article or information into the article or news, or there's lie by omission, where they don't do it or pay any attention to that news at all. And there's many things that are going on around the planet which aren't covered at all. Okay, so we know in France, we have some people from France and Germany here, and they could probably tell you that there's many things going on in those countries that are not reported on in the grander scheme of things. So how is Dan going to be doing? I think he's going to be doing just perfectly. He's going to be actually telling the truth, and it's going to be hurting the old networks that they had worked for before. And we're going to see those news media outlets starting to either change, which would probably what they're going to be doing because they like money, right? And so if people have figured out that it's not worth watching, they'll move on to something else, basically voting with your attention, right? And that's as a result. But I think Dan is going to do very, very, very well on Rumble. It's probably going to be one of the top shows on Rumble. So if you haven't tried out Rumble yet, make sure you go check it out later on. Okay, what do we have next? As we're waiting for everybody to come. Here Comes the Sun. If you remember the old Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun. Yeah, the wife says, "Don't sing, for heaven's sakes." We don't want to get a copyright strike or YouTube coming with the axe or people running away because of my voice. So today's title for today's show is Here Comes the Sun. And it's referring to many of the World Economic Forum stuff out there. I kind of snuck it in there where we're having brighter days. The World Economic Forum, and it's something that I had posted on the Discord channel. Hint, hint, hint. A nice little video from a really good YouTuber out there about how the World Economic Forum is starting to collapse. And many of the the leaders that are following the World Economic Forum are running away. A lot of the things that they were trying to implement throughout the world, like world starvation, the CBDCs is part of their thing, and it's not doing so well. Even here in Canada, they're really pushing the envelope on the CBDCs. I think Mr. Justin Trudeau is really pushing that, and it's going to be blowing up in his face. As you may not know, never piss off a Canadian. If you've gotten a Canadian to the point where they're pissed off at you, they won't say anything. They'll just probably belch in the face or something. Or just have a trucker convoy, which is probably much, much better. And I do see one of those coming up very, very soon for Canada again. So sunny days are coming. Much of the things that the World Economic Forum has tried to implement are failing. And the main reason for many of these things failing around the world is that they're trying to do it too quickly. How do you boil a live frog? You turn up the heat slowly over time. But because they have time restraints on many of the things that they need to do, okay, and this because of a comet going around the sun, it's their cultish beliefs, they've really sped up things, and it's really waking people up in a major way. So instead of turning up the heat slowly, they've cranked it. So many of the frogs have been jumping out of the water and going on to other things and changing things for the better. This is how the Great Awakening happens, okay? Great Awakening would never, ever happen if there was not adversity, okay? Or a reason to, because that's how people are. People will not do things unless there's a very good reason to. And it needs to be, it needs to hurt, okay, a lot. Like everybody getting into the cryptocurrencies at all one time, it needs to hurt that they not get into cryptocurrencies as the new system, okay? Getting rid of many of the politicians that we follow. If it doesn't hurt, you won't do anything. But right now it's starting to really, really hurt, and it's hurting everybody's back pocket. It's hurting everything that we hold dear in a major way. That is the only time when the majority of people will start to take action against these criminals. Okay, that's the nicest word I can think of for them. Okay, and they're really making it tough not to take action against them because of all the things that they are doing. Okay, so Here Comes the Sun is the title, and it's for a very good reason. I do like Beatles songs too, but we're starting to see the beginnings of the Great Awakening, and the Great Awakening will only happen because people don't like pain in the wallet, in their bellies, whatever. And that is going to force everybody into great change, into the Great Awakening. Okay, so there you go. What do we have next? Oh, yes, for today's show at 11:15. In this case, I want you to be a Bob because he did very, very well. Last show, we got Daisy Chains here. Does very good as well. We have the new remote viewing number, focus number, the 684RKF. I got the new one already, but I'll be showing that in the next show after this one. So make sure you come out, strengthen your psychic abilities, and doing all that. We were playing with a little bit with the runes that my wife made from resin, I think, a long time ago. And we're like, how can we incorporate this into a show of some sort? I don't know too much about runes on how to read them. Okay, it's one of the few things that I do not know about psychic realm. But expect that into a future show. Maybe even doing Rory story cubes for a show. That might be fun. You can actually do divination and all that with the dice. I'll show you that in a later show. Maybe this Tuesday show will bring that up. I was looking at doing that for the next show. Okay? It'll be fun. Okay? And maybe the Rory story cubes will be flying off the shelves and everybody will be rolling their dice and making predictions about things. Might be fun. Okay, let's get into I guess it's the chat now. We have Dilly Dilly. Hello, Dilly Dilly. The Vikings drafted quarterback Jaron Hall in the draft. Will he a great quarterback for us in the future? Or will they have to find a different starting quarterback instead of him? I think Dilly Dilly likes football. Maybe. I think he likes the Vikings.
He must be psychic.
He must be psychic. I must be psychic. You know, his little emblem is of a Viking. Yeah. I think it's the actual Viking slogan.
Yes.
This is a very serious psychic show. No, we try to have fun here all the time. Even now, everything's not the greatest. We're focusing on the best of intentions here. I'm picking up that they're going to be getting another one because not necessarily because that he's bad. I think he's going to be running into some health issue where they're going to have to need somebody else to back him up for whatever reason. There's some thing that's going to be happening to him in the next little while where they're going to have to get another quarterback and maybe have the other guy as the second, I think they call it a second string, just to cover some of the situations that, what's his name, Jaron is going to be going through in the next little while. He may be having some health issues coming up overall. But that'll be for a very short time where he's going to be going through some health issues. So they're going to have to bring somebody else in to cover for that. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Cards, please, on Dr. Rashid Buitar. Shocked he just died suddenly. Dr. Buitar. Hopefully it wasn't from cookies. He was speaking out against that, if I remember correctly, about the cookies. So let's have a look. Some little nefarious things happening behind the scenes with this particular case. I think it wasn't the cookies. It was some other thing that had happened to him because he was very, if you remember well, we were going through the last couple of years that he was very, very vocal about things. Okay. And the powers that be didn't like that. And I'm thinking that what's a nice way of saying that? Did something about it. Okay. Something with poison, something like that he ingested in some way. We got to watch our words and all that sort of thing. But I'm thinking it's going to be sparking many of the things that will be necessary for the reawakening of everybody because people are going to go, Aha. Sometimes situations like this, okay, will, because he had a lot of people following him, is going to make him into a martyr, and everybody's going to be going the extra mile for this particular situation. I know it's horrible that he's gone here on the earthly plane, but I think a lot of great things are going to be happening because of what happened to him. Okay. And I think a lot of inquiry and a lot of new understanding of what is going on or what had gone on will spark a whole new I shouldn't say revolution. Um, but I'm thinking that that's going to lead into that. Okay. And I do pick up that it was CIA in some form. Okay. So we gotta be careful what we say, even though if it's the truth. Okay. So hopefully that answers your question. Cards, please, on silver price per ounce in January. Is that the $6 ounce? That'd be great. For a short period of time. And it leads back into what I was saying last show, that there's going to be a moment in time when everything is going to be dropping off a cliff. And everybody's going to get panicking, especially with the banking crisis that's happening right now. There is one. Look it up. Everybody's going to get the idea that they have to sell everything, and people panic and they do silly things. Okay. And they're going to sell their gold and their silver and their Bitcoin and the crypto and all that sort of thing, because when you're in panic mode, that's when you start not to think properly. And that's probably where we're going to get that $6 silver per ounce in the next little while. And who's going to be buying all that silver at that particular time? The elites. They're going to buy your cheap silver. Thank you very much. I'm hoping you're not going to be in that group that's selling. I'm hoping you're in that group that's buying. Right now is the best time to buy while you can. Not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I do see that it is going to be going down. All of those wonderful things that we like to store things in, okay, are going to be going down for a short period of time. And then it's going to be blast off time after that moment in time. Once people stop panicking, this is key. Remember, in any crisis, what did they tell you to do? Don't panic. And what do people do? They panic. So unless they watch this show and they understand what's going on, you do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. So when silver goes down, and if you have the beans, you're going to buy some more. Okay? And the elites hate that because that's their silver. That's their gold. That's their Bitcoin that you're buying up. And they'll try something else and continuously do stupid things. They don't care about you. I do. They don't. And they want to have it all. So they have the full control of everything. Don't give it to them. Focus on the things that you do want. The world that you do want. Okay? So, yes, silver is going to be coming down in January a little bit. Okay? Wife said, move on.
No, it's part of that.
Oh. Hi, Andre. Bought my first silver coin, 1 ounce Cougaran. Not sure if it was a bargain, a step in the right direction. Yes, it is. Right now, if you're relying upon solely the banking industry for all your financial needs, Doesn't take a psychic to see what's happening out there, and it ain't pretty. Okay? Protect yourself in the best way you know how, in the best way that you are. I shouldn't say comfortable with. There's going to be some discomfort because it may not be your normal way of doing things. Right? When me and the wife got some silver the other day, wasn't the most comfortable thing because we hadn't done it yet. Now that we've done it, and we go, oh, that's how it's done. And we have the means to lock it up and keep it safe from the government. It's the one thing I'm most worried about. That it's a nice process, and it's something that I think everybody here should experience. Exactly the right direction. Okay? Hopefully that answers that question. Andre was spot on with my Aquarius reading, and reading on here too. I will find out some not nice news, but we'll be able to do some positive with the information for change. Currently in progress. Thank you for that feedback on that. Psychics do like to have feedback on. Not everything we say is golden, but every so often we're right on the mark. Most times. And of course, we've had psychics that were way out left field. And we've had psychics that we've worked with that they're way off in left field. And even I went, ugh. But then it turned out to be correct. So. Oh, so it changes your thinking. Whatever your beliefs are now, be willing to change. My beliefs change on a daily basis about the universe and everything. There's some core principles that I stick to, and they held true. But most other things, they change daily. The more information you get, then hopefully you're malleable, fluid enough to change with the new understanding of the universe. Okay? Thank you for that. Dilly. I asked this question a bit ago, but you answered in years instead of months. Well, Credify, I think you like Credify too. Crypto reach 10 cents US in the next 1 to 2 months. If I did it in years, it probably meant it was going to be in years. And I was seeing more of what was going to be happening within a certain time span. I do think that, yes, it will get to a certain point in a year, not the months. That's probably why I said it in that way. 1 to 2 year outlook, I think they're going to go through that big dip because of usability of their platform, whatever they're doing, and then they're going to straighten things out. So 10 cents in 1 to 2 months, no. But I do see it getting to that in about a year or so as they straighten things out behind the scenes. Okay. Thank you, Dilly. Thank you. The wife doesn't like my singing, but
Well, that's not quite true.
the most I did was some backup singing when I had my rock band back in the day. While I'm playing the drums and I'm da 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 da. That's the most singing that I've done professionally. So, and the lead singer would go, and he would hold the chord on the piano, trying to get me right in the right range. So I'm not the greatest of singers, but thank you, Dilly, for that vote of confidence about my singing. Okay, thank you. Hi, Andre. It has begun raining quite heavily, and it looks like my car has caught a cold, coughing and sputtering. Will it come right? Will it become healthy again? Today, even though the title of the show is Here Comes the Sun, it's very cloudy in Winnipeg today. But it might be sunny somewhere around the planet.
It was.
Must be. First thing that I'm getting is some type of filter problem that you may be having. It's probably why it's coughing and sputtering. It's probably because of not enough air getting into the combustion system. So maybe check those filters all around. You got the air filter usually on top, and today's cars, I look at the engine and go, older cars, yeah, that's fine. So you may want to check on that and check on the oil filter, which is if you know what it looks like, it's a thing like that big, and there's a little filter in front of that. That could be leading to some of the situations that you are having. And it also could be needs a good tune up. It doesn't have the right air to gas ratio. Remember, the gas comes in as a vapor hitting the air, going into the spark plugs, causing that spark and doing the compression, right? And then the explosion cycle, and it turns the wheels, right? Basic automotives. But I do think you might want to check on the air filters and all that sort of thing. It will last a little longer if you do that, and a good tune up, making sure that air to fuel ratio is correct. Okay, hopefully that helps you out. If you don't know how to do it, get a professional. Cards, please. Psychic saying not looking good for UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak. They would not say any more. Probably because the things that they see are not friendly. It kind of goes back to what I had said previously about the UK. Nobody really wants the job at the moment. You want the job? No, I don't want the job. You want the job? No. Here, we'll put Risha. He'll do it. And I was picking up that that's kind of the thing there. They're trying to do some amazing, great things, maybe, or not. It's just a placeholder. Yeah. For some reason, he's going to be out of circulation for quite some time for something that's going to be happening in the next little while. I think the other psychic was having trouble putting it to words, what's going to be happening to the UK Prime Minister. I think they're going to be getting themselves in the conundrum that they cannot get out of, and that it's going to be backfiring on them overall. So they may have to make a run for it the next little while. And for some reason, there's one part that's going to be kicking up their heels because they either don't like him or like him, and they want to see him go away. And that is, I think, the case for the future. How he goes away, I think we'll leave that for a while. I do see a lot of struggle for the leadership for UK, and I think you may have to go through a couple more people until you get the right one. So Daisy Jane says, yes, it sounded not very nice. So I think some type of accident might happen to him. Okay, so yeah, we'll leave it at that. Some say 2023 will see the UK go revolution, baby. Maybe. From what I've seen on the little snippets that I have seen for the UK, there's not much of that. Yes, people from UK are more boisterous than some other countries about what they do like and what they don't like. That's a nice way of putting it. Yes, trust your intuition. You are on the right track with what you are thinking and seeing. There is going to be a bit of a revolution. Same within France. Maybe if you guys team up and bring back certain things that come down and all that. I'm not saying I'm not promoting violence or anything, but it might lead into that. And breaking free from the situation that you find yourself in. This focused on the things that you do want, and you're doing that in a grander scale. Okay. And that's what we're witnessing within the UK, that everybody doesn't like that. Okay. And instead of focusing on, they're focusing on the things that they do want. And that's going to be creating the situation necessary to bring great change in the Great Awakening. I think UK is going to be hit the hardest through this. The Great Awakening, I didn't say was going to be fun or pleasant, but it will happen. And the people with the greatest adversity will become the greatest components of the Great Awakening. Remember that. Anyone who's under the greatest pressure, okay, that will cause greater things to happen to you sooner. Because when something is under great pressure, it means, and it's like what I said in the very beginning of the show, people won't make changes until they are under great pressure. And you, by watching the things in Europe and all that, you are under great pressure, and great change will come to you probably before anywhere else on the planet. So hip hip hooray. It's not going to be fun or pleasant, but it will happen. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. How many catches of gold, silver, or hidden over a century ago are still there along the headwaters of Falls Creek, northwest of Durango, Colorado? You should watch Bix Weir on YouTube. He's been talking about that for a long time. And this is his whole thing, that there's a ton of gold in Colorado and all that they're hiding in ore form. Okay, enough for everybody, but they're keeping a lid on it, because if you have too much of something, it brings that price right down. Okay, silver is probably why they're really big on the silver, because there's a limited amount of that. Gold, there's tons of. It's like diamonds. Diamonds are not rare. If you watch the Beers documentary on how they try to destroy diamonds to make less and less of them on the market, okay, that jacks up the price. The scarcity model. So if there's way more gold than they can put a price on, the price comes down. Okay, I'm thinking that the silver is a little bit better because there's a lot less of that. Okay, yeah, there is a ton of it around the world, actually. But they like to prefer that it stay in the ground. Because if you oversaturate the market, your price goes down. Yeah. You are connected to the right situation. You know what's going on. Yes, there is tons and tons of gold in their heroes, um, and they're going to be keeping it lid on it. It's good and it's bad. If you're going to be using it for construction or manufacturing, then yes, bring it out. But I'm thinking that they're going to be keeping a lid on that because they don't want to disrupt the market too much. Okay? Hopefully that answers your question. Why do some psychics only believe in their guides and hate tarot readers? Hmm. I have run across this in medium circles, and I'm kind of mediumistic myself. In a true mediumistic spiritualist church, they do not allow tarot cards or any other tool. Okay, wouldn't allow pendulums. In their case, it wasn't true of the church that me and the wife met. They just threw everything against the wall and almost everything stuck. But in a true traditional uh, spiritualist church, there's no tarot cards. Okay. Even though that is a path to lead you into better psychism, you have to remember tarot cards, oracle cards are only a tool to get your senses going. You've been noticing that I haven't really been using the cards as much because I've just been connecting to the universal mind and spitting out the information. Cards are great to keep you on track, and it's a tool. That's all it is. Now, in the spiritualist church, kind of what you're talking about, there's plenty of them in the UK, actually. Go visit, see what they're doing there. But they they're the belief that you either got it or you don't got it. If you need tarot cards to bring the psychic awareness out of yourself, then that's not good. You either got it or you don't got it. If you don't got it, go to the back of the audience. Nothing wrong with tarot cards. It is a tool. It's like pendulums. It's like using other teacups. Okay. There's some places they don't like tarot cards, but they don't mind teacup reading because tarot cards are evil. Ooh. So you have to remember many of the spiritualists, and there's different varieties, think tarot cards are evil because it's kind of a Christian sense, even though the tarot cards came from Christian Catholic Church. Weird. But it's just a tool. I remember I did, we, me and the wife, I don't think the wife was there. We were helping out another church and they were mainly Christian. And they said,
I was there.
yeah, my wife was there. And they told us not to use the tarot cards because they're evil. But you can use the teacup reading. There's no difference to me. It's just another tool. But okay, yeah, whatever. And we're helping them raise money to keep their church alive. So no harm in that. Uh, and they had such an opinion about psychics and all that sort of thing, even though we're there helping them, which led to a interesting. I'll get into the story. I'm sitting there at my little table. All the psychics had their own little tables in a big gymnasium, and the customers would come by, putting we're fundraising basically. And the first lady that came to my table with her teacup, okay, sits down, hands me the teacup. I go, "Hello, how are you today? Have a seat." Did a little bit of small talk, and she's there with her arms crossed. I don't like this stuff, tarot cards and all that. It's a bunch of hogwash. It's evil. I'm only here because the minister said I should be here to raise funds for the church. Okay, no problem. Have a seat, relax. Picked up her cup. And I look and I'm doing my thing. And I see this rabbit on the bottom of the cup. Plain as day. I look up, I go, you having problems with rabbits? And her face changed and her jaw dropped to the ground. Goes, yeah, they're all through my backyard. They're eating my garden. They're getting into everything. It's a big thing. And she went on for like 5 minutes. She goes, how did you know? Well, it's at the bottom of your cup. And she left there and she's shaking. Thank you for time. I finished the reading for her and she went off and just dazed. But it just shows, going back to your beliefs will change with the more knowledge that you gain. And hopefully you are fluid enough to change with the new information that's coming in, right? And you can't be so rigid in your beliefs. Okay, so that's going back to that old lesson. So yeah, it does happen. I speak to my guides as well. So I do it all, or try to do it all. So thank you, Bob, for the long explanation that I gave you. Thank you for that. Could you ask the cards for my petunias? Flowers will grow. I don't know. Do you want to use the cards? They're evil. I'm hoping some of you out there are laughing your butt off from that story. I think, yeah, the wife was at another table. Were you doing teacup readings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Been to many of those functions, so it's hard to keep track of them all. I think a little bit more kindness and patience with them. I think they're going to be growing, but it won't be the perfect petunias that you're looking for in the end result. They may sprout up a little bit. Something to do with the soil that you may have put them in. You may want to check the soil and how well it is. Okay. And maybe do some more research on how petunias grow. They will grow, but it won't be spectacular. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. I think it's something to do with the soil. Okay. Hopefully that helps you out. Super Whittle Guy, this upcoming week or two is going to be interesting to say the least. 3 cards, please, on what to expect and how to navigate. Okay. I should shuffle the cards. Daisy Chain's giving some flower advice. I don't have a green thumb myself, so either does the wife. That's why we don't have plants, really. I once had an air fern and I killed it. So, what to expect? Expect great pressure all around, some more than others. Just focus on the best thing that could happen and act accordingly. Okay? Don't panic. I should have my next What are my next thumbnails saying? Don't panic in big, bright red letters. They're going to try everything that they can to put you into fear. That's what governments do. Okay? They need you to be fearful of something. So you think that you need them to protect you from the thing that they created in the first place. I'm hoping that you're seeing what they do and what they say is a bunch of baloney, and you're going to be going your own route. And this is the best way of doing it. Kind of ignore them in a way. Most of what comes out of their mouth is baloney, anyways. Make sure that you got your gold, your silver, your Bitcoin locked away, storage, set on it, wait for the dust to settle. And then when they figure themselves out and they finished fighting amongst themselves, you don't have to get involved with the fighting. Like Cliff High would say, don't win any stupid prizes. And you just wait till they're done, and when they'll show the new thing, and then you put your money into that. Not all of it, but as much as you need to pay your bills and stuff. And that's how you're going to be surviving. You may be a little skinnier by the end because you can't buy all the food that you used to. Going back to another prediction I made, people are going to be very selective on the things that they buy at the supermarket. Even me and the wife were at the supermarket. We were looking at chicken breasts. They're what, $30?
For 10.
$30 for 10.
Used to be 20.
Used to be 20. So people are going to get more and more, and that's going to go up a little bit more. So just be aware of that and try to do everything you can to keep that food on the table coming up. We'll make it through. Yeah, David James has that look emoji. We'll get through this. I think it's going to be for another year or so, and then everything's going to go the other way. £5 for 1 liter of olive oil. Yeah. Crazy. Thank you for that. What a super little guy.
Super chat, but no question.
Oh, thank you for that. £10. I'm not sure what that is in Canadian, but thank you anyways. Awesome stuff. 3 cards, please. Thank you, Andre. You got everything going the right direction. I think we did this reading already. It's just more of the same for you. You're doing all the right things. You're picking up the right things. You move in the right direction. And there's going to be a little bit of time that you can have a breather. You got that vacation card. Hey. And you're going to be utilizing that inner power to do all the things that you need to do. And you're on the right track with all the things that you are doing. So don't lose heart, things, and focus on the things that you do want, and not on the things that you do want, and make allies of the people that will help you. Okay. And you're going to be doing just fine. And there's going to be a little bit of a breathing space in there, maybe getting away for a short period of time, for a day or two. And then me and the wife are thinking of going out to Bill's Sticky Fingers, which is like an hour from here with the family. Get a bunch of people together and take a little road trip. That's in Portage La Prairie. So, it's about an hour outside of the city. So, yeah, do something like that. Get some friends together. Do a little drive if you can. Get somebody who has a car. everybody add money for the gas and just go somewhere, have some fun, maybe get some chicken fingers or ribs.
Red.
Yeah, ribs and chicken. And have a good time with that. Okay? Thank you for that.
No more questions.
No more questions?
Nope.
Well, late in about 11:15, at 11:15, we're doing the thing. We're going to reveal what is in the envelope. Okay.
Tell them what they will win.
What you will win. Knowledge. Building your psychic abilities so you can utilize your psychic abilities in your everyday to make life so much better, or a little easier anyways. I believe personally that building up your psychic abilities and going along that path is worthwhile. Okay? This is why I'm promoting it and stuff. It's not easy. It's hard for some, but it's worthwhile. Okay? And going through the things that we're going through, and if you want to be real big part of that great awakening, building up your psychic abilities is probably be the best route for many people out there. And that's why we're doing the remote viewing at 11:15 after this show. So make sure you come out, have some fun, build upon your psychic abilities. If you like a personal reading with me, go to psychicreadingsbyandre.com. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen too, where all that information is there. We got, if you didn't get it, we got the Discord button on there as well. Maybe I'll do that as well while we're got a bit of an audience here. Put that into the chat. Paste. Chicken. There we go. If you missed it the first time, there we go again with the link to the Discord channel. Come one, come all. We're going to have a lot of fun there. There's a lot of things that we post there. Awesome stuff. If you like a personal healing with my super psychic wife, who does the Reiki, go to psychicreadingsbyandre.com. That information is there as well. And our affiliate page. And if you happen to hit one of the affiliate offers and purchase something, know that we make a little bit of money from that purchase. Okay, with that said, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future. Bye-bye.